Count to 9. In the time it takes you to do that, another American has defaulted on a federal student loan. This chart tracks the scale of the crisis. In the spring of 2026, 9 million people are already in default. By the end of the year, that figure is projected to reach 13 million. The federal government has absorbed this entire $1.7 trillion portfolio, and the Treasury Department has forcefully resumed collections. Defaults occurring at this volume indicate a systemic collapse in the way we fund education, moving far beyond the scope of individual financial failure. We are often told that defaulting on a loan is simply a sign of poor personal budgeting or irresponsibility. But for millions, the rules of repayment were restructured while they were still in school, trapping them in a system they didn't sign up for. In early 2026, the Trump administration finalized a series of rule changes that shifted the federal government's role from lender to collector. This default cliff was meticulously built, a machine designed to pull the financial trapdoor out from under millions of working adults. The first mechanism of this crisis arrived on April 30th, 2026, targeting graduate students. Graduate borrowing is now limited to $20,500 a year, a number that falls thousands short of the actual cost of attendance. This artificial funding gap steers students directly toward private lenders to make up the difference. Private loans carry variable interest rates that can spike without warning, and they offer no federal forgiveness options when a borrower falls behind. Capping federal aid does not reduce the need for borrowing, it merely pushes students into riskier, unforgiving debt traps. The second mechanism targets the 643,000 borrowers who were told their debt would eventually be forgiven. Under new rules, the administration has reclassified canceled student debt as taxable income, creating what experts call the forgiveness tax bomb. If you earn $65,000 and receive $50,000 in debt relief, you're suddenly hit with a $10,000 tax bill in a single year. For most working families, this is an unpayable demand for cash they simply do not have. By treating debt relief as a tax liability, the administration ensures that even those who escape their loans end up in default with the IRS. The final lever was the dismantling of the SAVE plan, which previously allowed low-income borrowers to have a monthly payment of $0. Its replacement, the Repayment Assistance Plan, mandates payments of up to 10% of gross income for 30 years, regardless of a borrower's actual cost of living. People who previously had manageable payments are now facing monthly charges they cannot avoid without sacrificing basic necessities. Stripping away these safety nets serves as the final funnel, pushing the most vulnerable earners straight into default. These defaults do not just hurt individuals. They act as a massive anchor on the entire United States economy. This graph illustrates the economic suppression. Every 1 percentage point increase in a borrower's debt-to-income ratio reduces their consumer spending by nearly 4 points. When you scale that math across 43 million borrowers, the result is a persistent, nationwide drain on consumer spending. The housing market bears the brunt of the damage, with over half of renting borrowers reporting that their debt is the primary reason they cannot buy a home. Defaulting on this scale freezes the housing market and actively suppresses the nation's overall GDP. The argument of fiscal responsibility ignores the data. Canceling $10,000 per borrower yields a return on investment of up to 200% through increased tax revenue and spending. Functional alternatives are already in operation. 44 peer nations like France and Germany offer university education for nominal or zero tuition. The United States has made a unique choice to treat education, a requirement for the labor market, as a consumer product sold on credit at compounding interest. The student debt crisis was meticulously built to serve the interests of lenders and collectors. It will continue to crush the middle class until policy is realigned to serve the students.